Okay, so here it is. I'm making a video about my Logitech G Cloud that you see before you. I got it yesterday in the mail. I could have made this video quite a long time ago. I got it when my mail usually comes, which I think is like 1:30 in the afternoon, somewhere around 1:32 p.m. So I probably was one of the first people in the country, I feel like, to get a G Cloud because Amazon shipped it to me in release date delivery, which was nice of them because when I ordered it, said it was scheduled, the device released on October 18th. Amazon initially said it would be delivered October 20th when I pre-ordered, but like the night of the 17th, all of a sudden I think I got a notification like, oh, your package is coming tomorrow. So they bumped up the delivery to the 18th rather than the 20th, so that was very nice of them. Or cool, because I was worried. That's why I didn't want to buy from the Logitech website. A lot of people were passing around a code. You could get $30 off at Logitech, so it was $270 instead of the pre-order price of $299. But I knew that I can trust Amazon to be fast on shipping, and also it's very easy to do returns. More on that later, because I am thinking about returning this device, and I'll tell you why. And yeah, so it's definitely worth 30 extra bucks to me to get the Amazon peace of mind, fast shipping, and easy returns versus I have no idea what Logitech shipping is like. And I saw a lot of people in the Reset Era thread about this device. It's a video game message board in case you don't know, that were saying like, oh, I shouldn't have ordered a Logitech because as of yesterday they weren't getting theirs. But I believe the people who ordered from Amazon did get theirs yesterday. I was kind of surprised. It was kind of a double fake too. I've been wanting to fill you in. I've been really just anticipating this device for 3 weeks or whatever it's been since I ordered it. Really jonesing for it, Can't wait till I get it and all that. So then when I saw it was supposed to come the 18th and I was following the tracking, and it started out in Oklahoma. By the way, I live in Texas, and so I knew it was close. That's where it started out, I believe. And then it was then it moved to what the heck? Then it moved to then it moved to Dallas overnight, which is the normal path things take. And then it will be out for delivery to me that morning. Well, it wasn't out for delivery. I didn't get any out for delivery notification in my email like I normally do. Somebody missed a scan is basically what happened, because it showed it came in at my local post office at 6 a.m. But that's it. It never said out for delivery because somebody didn't scan it probably. So I was I was basically worried after all this time. I was so excited to get it. Oh great, I'm not going to get it today, am I? But it did, even though it would never set out for delivery, never scheduled for delivery. It just popped up, or the postal service person just dropped it off. So that was awesome. Got it on the 18th. Cool beans. Go Amazon. Give Bezos some more money. He hasn't got enough. So onto the device. Like I said, I've had it since yesterday. Played it a little bit. I really haven't played very much. I've toyed around with it a decent amount. So my thoughts on it before I want to. It's very, very hard to move my camera the way I want. It's very annoying. I try to do the best I can. It's very hard to film like this. I don't know how people do it with these what do they call them, tabletop reviews and stuff. But anyways, where was it? The Logitech G Cloud, it cost me $299, $324 after tax. What do I think about it? I like it a lot. I was going to just go through a few things with it here. One of the things that's weird about it is it's so different from any traditional console I've ever had, or that you've probably ever had. There's really nothing to play in the traditional sense. You don't buy a game and pop the game in for better or worse. I kind of wish there was, in a way, just something you could buy and play. There's not even anything to really buy and download if you think about it, because it's cloud gaming. So in my case, I'm big into Xbox. I have Xbox Series X. I've always owned an Xbox. I've always been an Xbox fanboy. If you watch this channel, you know that. So I have Xbox Ultimate Game Pass. I did the trick where you get it for like the price of live gold. So it's like $5 a month for me. It's a no brainer. I did that. You do that and you got to re-up for like, I even re-upped. I initially did it for like 2 years. And then like a year ago, I think now time really flies. I re-upped it for like another 2 years. So I think I'm good to like August of 2023 or yeah, 2023, something like that. But anyway, so I have Ultimate Game Pass. Don't pay very much for it. So I get all that's where xCloud is. If you don't know, you can't just play xCloud. You have to be a Ultimate Game Pass, or I think it's just regular Game Pass. Either way, subscriber to play xCloud. And what that is like a Google Stadia type service where you just go and you play the games, and they're streamed from the cloud though. And there's also something called Xbox Remote Play. This is an actual difference. Like what that does, I guess, I'm not even sure, but it somehow streams it off your local Xbox. But from what I was reading on Reddit, it also kind of uses the xCloud servers or something. It uses like the same, like if xCloud, one of the big problems with that, I guess, is it's only in 720p supposedly. But from what I was reading, Xbox Remote Play has the same limitations as xCloud. I don't know why they're tied together somehow, but so Xbox Remote Play is also only in 720p. And I've played some Xbox Remote Play before. What I noticed is that like Stadia was way better as far as quality, like image quality. Like Stadia broadcasts in 1080p or streams, and xCloud only streams in 720p, and you can really tell the difference. And I understand like xCloud is like lower bit rate and everything else compared to Stadia, and GeForce Now also, I believe. GeForce Now, however you pronounce that. So, long story short, I've played xCloud before, and it's pretty lacking. Stadia seemed a lot better, both in lag but Xbox Remote Play seemed like almost lag-free to me. What little bit I've played around with it. I just played around with it. I played some Street Fighter on it once, just like for like literally 30 seconds, like most things I do. Most gaming, I've never actually gamed that much. I just played through like a Gears and Halo campaign now and then. When I was a kid, I played a lot of Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Street Fighter 2. And the game I've got like 5,000 hours in at least is Destiny 2 in the modern ages. But anyway, so the point is, where was I? I don't really play that much, but I was just playing around with xCloud. And in the past, I noticed that I played some Destiny on these cloud services. But in the past, I noticed xCloud was like really poor quality than Stadia. And what I noticed in Xbox Remote Play, it seemed like the lag was much less. I fiddled around with some Street Fighter 2 on it, which is a very noticeable game, and it seemed almost like local to me. Like I didn't really notice lag. So that was my impressions coming into this. Now this thing, they touted GeForce Now and xCloud are the big services that they're touting support for, and it has those apps on the home screen. Whereas, what's the name of that? Stadia, they're not really supporting, but I guess you can go to it on a Chrome browser because Stadia is going out of business, obviously, and didn't pay them. That's basically how these things work. Whenever they put the app on the home screen, it means they're getting paid to do that. They're having revenue sharing agreements and all that with these places. A little business info for you. I mean, it's obvious, but yeah. So they obviously didn't cut a deal with Stadia because obviously Stadia is not spending money on promoting themselves anymore. But I heard you can go to Stadia in Chrome, which I haven't done. But anyways, the interesting thing is what I've played of both xCloud, or I played some Xbox Remote Play like yesterday of I think Gears, and I believe it was kind of laggy and low quality if I remember. Now, don't quote me on that because I'm probably wrong, or it was just my connection was acting iffy that time or something. But paradoxically, when I played of xCloud on this device, even though it's only 720p as I understand streams and whatnot, and this is a 1080p display, it looks great and plays great. I'm going to demonstrate that for you. I just had fired up this game called Chorus. It's like a space shooter. And gosh dang, it looks sharp on this thing. On streaming on xCloud. Now this is straight streaming, not even remote play or anything. Yeah, so man, it looked good, and like I said, I'm gonna show you that. There are a lot of bugs with this device I've noticed. Like for one thing, yesterday I was playing Destiny and I had this thing like next to me, and like every once in a while I take a break from Destiny and play around with this thing because it's brand new, so I just can't resist just fiddling with it. And so I was doing that, and I popped open Destiny at one point, and it cuts off your Xbox. It says like it pops up a message saying you can only play at one location at a time. I'm assuming they don't want you to like give your account out to like all your family and friends or whatever, and having 50 people playing on one login type of deal. So apparently you can only play in one place, including like if you play on xCloud, you cannot be playing on your local Xbox at the same time. Which I didn't really know that. So I fired up a game on this while I was sitting on the couch playing my Series X, and immediately it cut off my Series X, and it popped up a message like, oh, you can only play in one instance at a time, blah, blah, blah. No big deal, I understood. And it would be like, do you want to continue playing on the other device or cancel and continue playing on this device? Something like that. Well, it was like I couldn't figure out how. I did that once and it was no big deal. The second time I did it, though, it got hung up. And the G Cloud was like thinking it was logged in, or I couldn't figure out how to shut off the G Cloud. At some point I was just like, how do I shut this dang thing off? Which I figured out how to do now, by the way, but at that time I didn't know. I thought it could just maybe go to sleep. There's no obvious like power switch on it, and I figured it out, by the way. It's just this slider on top here, this yellow one, and you slide it once to turn it on, and then you hold it for 2 seconds, and it pops up this menu, as you see, which talks about sleep, power off, restart. So I didn't know that, though. I was just like, at the time. So I didn't see any obvious way to turn it off at the time. I was just like, what in the hell? Anyways, here's the device. It's very pretty and gorgeous. Oh, that to point out that there's a lot of, let me do something here. There's a lot of, I guess I'm giving away the secrets of this thing. Here's how it looks, and then you see that little thing that says long press any key. Like you just hold A and it fills up this little circle. Bing, it brings it up. Look how pretty it is. I think the color scheme that comes by default is gorgeous. This kind of greenish blue thing. Let me see. What I want to do is, here's the settings. One of the most annoying things I find about this thing is it has no pull down shade. Because I'm used to Android phones. I don't have an iPhone. I think iPhones are this way too, but because they copy Android, by the way. I love how all the tech sites are always talking about every time Android does anything Apple did first, they're like, oh, look at Android copying Apple. And then, but it's like Apple copied like 80% of their things from Android, and they never say a word about it. Because I distinctly remember when Apple copied the pull down shade from Android, but you never hear about that. But all the time you'll see all these tech sites to this day, they're always like, oh, this thing looks just like an iPhone. Oh, imagine that, So on and so forth. They love to mention when Android copies Apple, because 90% of tech media is Apple fanboys, but that's another story. So I'm going to go in settings. I'm going to try to set the display to come on settings. That's another interesting thing about this device. You can either navigate most of the menus through touch, because it's a touch screen, obviously, or you can navigate them through the buttons like this. See, actually, this part I think it's touched you. I thought this part was only controller, but it's how do I get to display? There's no way to set the screen time out. That's annoying. There may be in the but here's some more settings and stuff. You can see the brightness level. I've got it on 6 and it's plenty bright. So that's awesome. I thought I had it on 5. But no, it's on 6. But it's plenty bright on 6. I mean, I love that about it. It's very bright. I do not have adaptive brightness on because I hate that on any device. So I read about this before I even got it, that it has the kind of a weird mix of like a launcher and Android, and here's the like Android part, because you go to more settings, and all of a sudden, instead of looking all polished, how come? See, that's one thing I'm wondering about my device is like towards the bottom. Okay, see this? See, that's exactly what I mean. This part is not touch controllable. I just realized that. So I'm touching this. That's the part I was thinking about earlier when I said, like, I thought they can button. So you have to do this with the buttons. It's kind of weird, and sometimes it'll throw you for a loop. But you know what? It's not a big deal at all, because I saw one review bitching about it, and like, that's stupid. It's not a big deal. And this device is still super cool. Screen time out, I'm going to go in and set it to 10 minutes of inactivity. This must not be the settings that matter, because it's timing out pretty quick for me. Well, we'll try setting it to 30 minutes and seeing if that does anything. Guessing it does not do anything. Wallpaper. I wonder if you could set, I don't even know. I was under the impression from watching an ETA Prime video that the wallpapers, he was complaining that they're not very many wallpaper options, because you can see there's only like 2. But so I thought he meant, because I was thinking, well, it's Android, you can go on the wet internet and set whatever wallpaper you like. But I thought that was just for tablet mode, because that's one thing to know about this device. It has 2 distinct modes. It has like tabloid mode, where it kind of acts like a regular Android tablet. It has like a game mode, which is like their launcher thingy. I think one of the main differences in game mode, it only will allow one app to run at a time, because it's always that when you switch from one app to another, like say one game to another, it'll always say like such and such is already running. Do you want to shut it down? I'll probably show you that too. It may pop up somewhere. So, and you just like confirm. So it basically like limits you to one app at a time, probably, to like have maximum performance, which is cool. Or you can just use it like a regular tablet. I did notice that the operating system in regular tablet mode seems kind of dated. Like, I know it's Android 11, it just looks a little dated. I guess it's not because it's Android 11, it's just because it probably doesn't have a fancy skin or whatever. But anyways, I'm gonna keep going here. So I tried to set the screen time up to a lot higher there. Hopefully that'll work. Like I said, I'm not sure if these settings even apply. Now, for battery, I've had this thing since the day I got it. Obviously, wait, I've had it since I got it. But by the way, this was off. This show battery percentage in status bar, and by default, I always turn it on all my devices. One of the first things I do. And so I turned it on. But yeah, I've had this for like I said, since yesterday, so like over 24 hours now. And like it's still at 53%. The battery's amazing. I wish that the battery temperature says 26.4 degrees centigrade. I don't know what that means really. I mean, I'm sure I can just pop it in Google and get a Fahrenheit, but I wish it had the battery temperature reading in Fahrenheit. Not that it matters. By the way, now's a good time to just look at the build quality and things. Like, the device is very thin. I noticed ETA Prime was raving about it. It's very light. I mean, I love this thing. There's the USB-C charger. I guess it has a headphone jack, which I don't care about because I never use headphones. It has 2 stereo speakers. Like, the more I'm looking at it, the cooler this sucker is. It's a little confusing here. It has 2 buttons up here, which kind of translate to like start and select, or they're not even start and select. They're menu and select or something on an Xbox. I don't even remember what they're called anymore. But it's kind of weird because you don't really know, like, you don't know which is which. And like, is this supposed to be start? Is this supposed to be start? You know, they're not labeled as such. Like, you see, it has like a little menu and a little, I don't know, ... more. Like, it's just a little confusing, but not a big deal. It has the home button, obviously, right here. And that always takes you home. I'm not even sure what this G Cloud thing does. See, it doesn't, oh, it took me home. Weird. I don't know. I thought that only the home button did that. The home button also acts like a backwards app, I noticed. It always, if you're already home, I guess, it kicks you to the last app you used, which I wanted to use this as a demonstration to show something, which is that this is also an awesome tablet. Like, I already have a Samsung Tab S8, so I don't need a tablet. But if I did not, this would be providing incredible value because I could get by with this as my tablet. I mean, it's such a nice. It makes me wish like people made 7-inch form factor tablets more because this thing is awesome. Like, just look at it. But you kind of have to use it in this portrait mode as a tablet a lot of times because this app is not going to, you see that? It's not going to turn to, which will be annoying. I don't know, because one of the main apps I ever use is the NFL app. I watch it. It's awesome. NFL Plus. It used to be Yahoo Sports last season and free. Now it's $4.99 a month. But it lets you like stream every NFL game. I use that thing constantly. Love that app. On my phone, on my tablets, whatever. I'll sit there and be scrolling around my PC or playing a video game, and I will have the game going, NFL games going on my tablet, propped up. You know, it's just awesome. But one of the things I'm really interested in is you can see this app does not turn. I think it's treating this thing like a smartphone. That's something that I've discovered. I believe somewhere deep in the coding or whatever, this thing is considering itself a smartphone. Because you see, it's not, well, even smartphones turn the display though. Yeah, so I'm not really sure. I'm probably just really stupid. But I'm not sure why it's not turning. Normally on an Android, on my phone, I would swipe down and just select the little thing that allows it to turn the screen. You know, I forget what they call it. There's a word for that. But, yeah, it's not, there's no swipe down menu, so I can't do that. So it's just stuck like this. So you gotta watch. So this is going to be kind of annoying if I go to watch a game and it's playing like this, like say in this area. It's not going to be able to, I want to be able to turn it like this and get a lot more screen real estate in 16:9 mode. So I don't know how it's going to behave on actual video because there's no, I only subscribe to the tier of NFL Plus, the $5 a month one that lets you watch live games. There's no live games going on right now. It's, Wednesday night? So I don't know that I don't know how it's going to treat the video, but I'll be disappointed if I can't watch NFL like this with the widescreen. If it makes me watch it like this, like it makes me look at this web page, that's going to be annoying. But I can't comment to that yet because I haven't done it. But yeah, just a lot of little things like that are a little annoying. But like I said, this would make a great tab. I mean, just look at it. I mean, it's so cool. Other than there's kind of unwieldy controls on it. Like I said, I honestly almost wish I didn't have a tablet because then I could justify the $299 price a lot more. But I already have a tablet, I already have a laptop, so. But if I didn't have I actually thought of selling my tablet, which is a Samsung Tab S7. I think I said S8 earlier. And like, cause one of the issues I have with this is justifying the price. I mean, it was $300 and I just feel like it's not, I love it, but I don't know if it's worth that to me, you know? Right now I feel a little broke. That's the thing. If I was loaded with cash right now, if it was just a different time of year or something, then it might be a totally different scenario, but I feel like, I don't know. I'm still on the fence about whether I'm going to keep this thing. Because like I said, one of my big problems with it is that you can't really just play anything. Just xCloud mostly is about all I'm going to play on. I'm not even going to set up a GeForce now, probably. GeForce. I always want to call it GeForce. I think it's just called GeForce. But anyways, yeah, I'm at like 100% just xCloud, which kind of limits what games you can play, or remote play if I have that on my Xbox. And remote play is pretty buggy too. Like half the time, like I was doing it on my phone the other day, it would be like, remote play stopped working, or, you know, stupid things like that that just give you no clue what went wrong. And so I had to, you always have to Google it, and it tells you, basically the solution I Googled up was like just re-go through all the process of linking your Xbox and all that sort of thing, which I did and it worked. But there's always something that goes wrong. By the way, the screen has stayed on the whole time I was running my mouth, so that's good. It looks like that 30-minute screen time it took, well, at least on this app. I don't know if it will on the home screen. Which is interesting because the 10 minutes Dream Timeout obviously didn't. So this is the launcher. It's pretty simple. I like it. It just has like account messages, which I don't even know. I think it's some as usual. I think that's your Logitech account. You don't really have to do that. I haven't even messed with it. I haven't even made a Logitech account. And that's like your Logitech message. It's like every other thing. They want to, be annoying and make you use all their stupid junk that you don't want to use. So I'm going to try to avoid that as long as I can. If I don't think you ever need to use it. But I believe that's what that's for. It has that's messages, but I think it's just Logitech messages. Who cares? That's account, but it's Logitech account and I haven't even made one. Let me see here. See there, it tells you messages, account, then album. That's like your Google Photos. Then settings, which I already demonstrated that. Then sleep, which I'm not going to do. Like I said, it's just annoying because I always want to come over here and do this, and you can't do it. And like, for example, if you want to turn up the display brightness, you have to go into settings. But no big deal. Then it has like your last, I don't know, what is it, 8 or 10 apps here? How many is that? I'll count right now. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like your last 9 apps, I guess. So obviously the ones I've been looking at are Google Play Store, the NFL. See how it says running? So like if I switch to this, it's going to say like NFL is running. Do you really want to do that? This is gaming mode, by the way. Here's some different, let me just talk about Android and the whole experience of that and why I've not liked it. So I have really no experience with Android gaming much because I don't game on my phone. So I thought it was a lot more well developed than it is. And that there was a lot of like console, or at least more of like console quality games on native Android that you could download on the Google Play Store. There's really not, long story short. There's actually very little, like, from what I know. I could learn more, but like you'll notice in a lot of these previews and stuff, one of the games they always talk about is Dead Cells. Well, that's the reason, because it's like one of the only native Android console style games that exists. I mean, there's a reason like they always talk about Dead Cells, because there's only like 4 of them. I mean, there's more than 4, but you get what I'm saying. There's really not really many quality Android games. Most of it's junk. Most of it's crap, like Candy Crush, and Candy Crush would be one of the more reputable ones. Most of it's just junk. I found out. I wasn't really totally aware. I just assumed, I'll play native Android games on it. They probably got a lot of stuff. Not really. And what's worse is a lot of the stuff they do have is not really playable on this. Because I found all these cool games in there, right? And I just assumed that they would just work and work with the physical controls. No, they don't. I'll give you an example. I downloaded this. Okay, 1945 Air Force. Looks awesome, right? Looks like it has awesome graphics, right? Well, you cannot play that with these controls. There's that little message it gives you that limits you to 1 app at a time. Confirm. Okay, watch what happens when I start this game. So, first of all, you see it's not taking advantage of the landscape mode at all. Basically, it just thinks this is a big phone. So it's playing it like you would a phone. Like here it is. System message, blah, blah, blah. Please upgrade your game. I don't care. Oh my God. Let me run through this little update. Hold on, I don't know if it actually would. Why does it not play? So yeah, I mean, Obtuse Recurrence 5, really? That was the name that it chose for me? But yeah, you see what it's doing. It doesn't matter if I turn it like this or anything like that. It only plays it in this portrait mode. And it doesn't support you couldn't use the controls like this anyway, because you'd have to have it like this for the controls to work. But on top of that, it only wants to play with the touchscreen, right? So this is an awesome game with awesome graphics, but you can only play it like this, like it's a giant phone. See what I'm saying? You cannot play this with all the coolness that would be. It has no 16:9 support. It has no controller support. So that's the way I find out most games are on the Android. There's a lot of cool looking stuff. Like that game right there would be cool, and there's like 50 like it. But it's pretty useless on this. Like it would, to be fair, this would be much cooler than playing it on your phone because it's so much bigger and nicer of a display. Well, not necessarily nicer of a display, but a much bigger display, which makes it nicer. But you can't because it doesn't support controls. It doesn't support portrait mode, and most of them are like that. Like I'll give you another better example. Is I found Tetris on there. I see Tetris in the Android store. It looks cool. It's like a nice modern version of Tetris, colorful. I'm like, oh, Tetris, that's, quintessential handheld game. You always got to play a little Tetris in your handheld. So I go download it, and it only works the same way as that Air Force game. You have to turn your screen this way, and you do touch to move little pieces around. It doesn't work in landscape, and it doesn't work with the controls. That's Tetris, one of the most basic games imaginable. So that's how most Android games are, I found out. Even a lot of the ones that look like they would be cool on the controls, they don't support the controls. So yeah, disappointing there. Disappointing. But it is what it is. And I guess you can run regular apps. As you see, I have Chrome here. I haven't really, and you get a like all app thing here. Let me check something real quick here. I already ran Geekbench on this thing. I'm a Geekbench like freak. So if you're interested, here's the score it got. Like I said, I'm a weirdo who's like obsessed with Geekbench. Right at what I thought, because I already looked up the score that a Snapdragon 720G will get. Single core 546, multi-core 1629. I ran it right on the device. Like I said, that's a little lower than I thought it was going to be like in the upper 500s, and it was 540. But that's actually pretty good. People keep talking trash about the 720G. It's both good and it's bad. It's not what I would want on the thing, but it's also not trash. Let's put it that way. So yeah, there's the problem. Now I was going to show another game. Here's one that did support another issue I have, and I don't know if it's me or what, but Sonic 2. It's giving me the one app to run around again. Sounds great, very loud. Very loud. I don't know if you can hear that. I don't know if it came across on YouTube, but very loud. I will say the screen is fantastic, but it is a little bit, you can see like the light blade, it looks a little light blade. It looked a little cheap right there, a little light bleed in the bottom. But I mean, overall, it's still amazing display. Very high quality, very nice. Here's another game that, this one, I was disappointed. I even bought this. I think it was only like $1.99 though, which is crazy cheap. Very disappointed in this one though, because it doesn't seem to support the controls. This was one, I think it's Sonic 2, that I just bought off the Android store, and I was going to, I thought it supported the controls, so I was like, finally a console style game I can use the controls on? No. Well, I can, but it keeps, for some reason, yesterday anyway, it kept pausing, like every 1 second. I don't know if it probably won't do it today or something with my luck. And also, like, you kind of got to use a mix of the... See, now it's not pausing, just like I said, with my luck. So you can just buy this off the Android store and it looks fantastic. I don't know why, but yesterday it kept pausing. Once I beat the level, it kept pausing. I don't know what it's doing. It's ruining my point because I wanted to show how it doesn't really support this game. Oh, shoot. Okay, that looks fantastic, though. Well, once I beat the level... What the heck? Once I beat the level yesterday, it wasn't allowing me to... Gosh dang, are we serious? I thought you could jump on enemies in this game. What kept pausing is the point. Now it's not pausing, so I don't know. There it goes, there it goes. Now it'll never play. See? It just immediately keeps pausing. I don't know why. I don't know what it's doing, but it's not going to continue. No matter what I do, that's what it's been doing. So you see, this is an example of a game I was trying to show you where it should work, it's awesome looking, it supports the controls, everything's awesome, but it's got some bug, unless I'm doing something on it, I don't know what it could be, where it just continually pauses after a little bit. Just like it's in right here. See, I'm on continue, that's why it's highlighted in yellow. If I press the A button to press continue, it's just going to immediately repause. I don't know why. So yeah, that's another example. I'm just showing you that there's bugs with a lot of these games. So just trying to show that like Android in general seems to have its issues on this thing. One I found that seems to work is Street Fighter 4 CE. I was surprised they don't just have like Street Fighter 2 on the Android store, but they don't. This is like the closest thing I could find to it. Sure. Yes. Wait, why is it not? See, that's another one where like I gotta use the touchscreen, but it's not a big deal. Like I saw some reviews. Look how gorgeous this looks. I mean, that's crazy. I think it's playing a little slow. I'd have to get like a frame rate thing, but it feels like 30 FPS to me. I hope it's not even slower than that. Anyway, so this is cool, but I don't see myself playing this game, to be honest. Actually, this is kind of cool. I might play this game. But I just wish I had Street Fighter 2 on it, which I'll put it on there with an emulator, but because I don't know how to use this game much at all. Yeah, this is actually really cool, and it supports it doesn't pause like the Sonic, and it supports the controls well, seemingly. So yeah, that's an awesome example. Man, that looks sweet on there, doesn't it? What was I? Oh yeah, cloud gaming. I wanted to show you cloud gaming. I was so impressed with this earlier today. I wanted to play Chorus. This is like a shooter that's on Game Pass. You can see it's my latest played game there. And it looked and played amazing. I was so impressed with this. And like I said, I've never been impressed with Xbox Cloud Gaming before. Now, cloud gaming on Xbox xCloud was always buggy. Like, I'm always kind of surprised when this works. Like, half the time I'm expecting to get an error message because half the time it gives you one. But it's working now. Another bug I was noticing yesterday when I was playing Gears, the controls kept showing up on my screen. Like the on-screen controls thing, like you're trying to play it with a device that doesn't have controls. But, I don't know, for some reason, I'm sure it's something I was doing. I don't know. Because now I've got it when I'm not getting the on-screen controls. They'll probably pop up here, but you'll see what I mean if and when they do pop up. Look how gorgeous this looks, though. Look how gorgeous this looks. Like, I cannot stress this enough. This is streaming, dudes. This looks freaking amazing on this display. I don't think you can really appreciate it correctly on YouTube, because looking at my phone screen, it's not looking as good as it does in real life. Holy cow, this looks good. So crisp and sharp. Like, I don't understand how, like, this is 720p. No, this looks like freaking 4K to me. Like, I don't know how they're doing it. Like, and like I said, I've played xCloud on tablets and stuff before. I don't know why this looks so great, and those have not to me. Like, this looks incredible. I don't know if it's something they're doing specific to this device in a partnership with Microsoft or something, but this looks, like, so sharp. Look at this. Like, I cannot... And however good it looks on YouTube, I can promise you it looks twice as good in person. 3 times as good. This looks incredible. I don't know if I can stress that enough. But I noticed you cannot seem to... Yeah, there's the on-screen controls. Obviously annoying. Like when I was playing Gears yesterday, I couldn't get these to go off. Like they would go off, but only when I touched the controls. And then they would just, like, as soon as I stopped for a second, they would come back. On this game, they're not doing that, so... It's probably something I did wrong, like I said. But it's annoying. Or maybe a setting somewhere. Goodness knows. But yeah, this looks incredible, man. This looks incredible.
Then he changed. Something happened, and suddenly no sacrifice was too much.
But I can't ever figure out how to
a rebellious world refused the harmonious doctrine
go past this, you know, like, okay, cool, but let me skip it. Oh, okay, hold B to skip. Okay, that was my bad. I didn't know what to press to skip. Incredible, 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 incredible. And when I was playing this earlier, it feels, like I said, they have to be, this is not 720p. This looks perfect. This looks perfect. I don't know what they're doing on this particular game or what's going on. This looks so nice. That's why I wanted to show this. Now here's actual gameplay. I guess it doesn't look quite as good for sure, but it still looks really sharp. It does not look 720p to me. And the controls are almost native quality. I mean, seriously. So yes, I definitely wanted to show this on my little review for a reason. Like, this game in particular is amazing. Now I will say, I personally had a lot of trouble controlling. I'm old. I don't know if I was younger, if it would be better. I'm just used to Xbox controller. I don't know. The same thing on Gears of War. I probably just need more time with it as well. It's not the fault of the device, because I've played with like a Razer Kishi. You know, any other handheld, it's the same. I just, you know, I'm used to Xbox controller. I just have a hard time controlling them. But yeah, there it is, and man, that looks so sharp, right? Incredible. It's when you do that right there, what I just did. Notice how it does that thing where it like puts the game in the background too. That's interesting. I don't know how to take that off. Oh, I think you press this and you can, no. Oh, you can press this and it brings up this little menu. See, that's what I mean about how the buttons get confusing and stuff. But it's still awesome. Okay, so now, okay, cool. But yeah, you gotta admit, that was an amazing display right there. And Gears 5 also looked really good when I played it. Let me go to, let me go to the, okay, yeah, just to show you the user interface and whatnot. Why does it say skip to main content? What? Yeah, I think it's like optimized for this. It's a PWA, Progressive Web App or something. Whatever the case, this, you know, look how amazing and smooth that is. Very good job by Tencent, Logitech, and Microsoft on this part of it. Incredible. Incredible, incredible, incredible. But now let's go home. So see, there it's doing or it puts it in the background again. Close app. So, cool beans, right? Awesome. As for tablet mode, I think that's, I'm trying to remember how to start tablet mode. It's in settings, and then you go down to something like device information, maybe. See, now it's moved into that weird space where it's only, there it is. Switch to tablet mode. That's like I had to look up on Logitech's. I don't remember if it even came with paper instructions or like a lot of games nowadays or devices nowadays. It probably just said like, go to this URL for instructions. Scan this barcode. I've actually seen things that nowadays do that. Like they tell you to scan a barcode for like instructions and stuff. 38% used of memory, 39.55 gigabyte free. Blah blah blah. But anyway, there's switch to tablet mode. So you do that, and it says switch to tablet mode. Android tablet, full screen, blah blah blah. Switch mode. All right, there we go. This is a demonstration of tablet mode, and you can see it looks a little dated to me, like square, but it's fine. You know, it's cool. Oh, and one thing I've already discovered it's cool. That little thing, it looks like a light to me. But I guess now that I see it, it's actually a joystick. That's how you get back to gaming mode, which is cool. It might be cool if they had something on the gaming side that you could just click an icon to switch to tablet mode. But yeah, this is tablet mode now, so it's like a tablet now, which is also awesome. And I guess it's just a normal tablet in this mode. Cool. Like, I can't stress that enough how cool this thing is. Like, just this review has made me think it's 10 times cooler. I'm really leaning towards keeping it now. Actually talking about it in this review and just looking at how gorgeous it is has kind of shifted my opinion more and more to I think I'm keeping it. Why I was thinking of getting rid of it, it's not the device, it's me. It's just that I can't see really using it that much. I don't handheld game. To me, like I said, I'm old. Like, I got a 65-inch TV. If I'm gonna game, I really don't game that much anyway. But if I am, it's gonna be like a 65-inch. My Dolby Atmos sound bar. Believe me, it's not everything I have is pretty cheap. I'm trying to make it sound like I got a home theater system or something. My Dolby Atmos sound bar costs $299, but it has a subwoofer, everything. So it sounds really nice. Got the 65-inch HDR TV, all that stuff. That's the only way I want to play. You know, the way I look at it, I've got a very limited free time in life. You know, make sure it's a top-notch experience. So I have no use really for a handheld. Which, of course, that begs the question: why'd you buy this? I just thought it looked awesome. I don't know. I bought first, ask questions later, kind of. So I may return it. I've got 30 days from Amazon, but I'm kind of leaning towards not returning it. Like I said, I could justify a lot more if I didn't have a tablet, because then I would use it as a tablet. One thing is my tablet being the Samsung, I have a little folding keyboard, and that makes it an amazing setup because you can just fold the keyboard, it clips on magnetically, and you've got like a little laptop then. And Samsung has a operating system for like a desktop operating system. That's what they call it, called DeX. And so it's like a little laptop when you want it to be. Granted, I've got a Windows laptop anyway, and that is so cool because it's so small and but awesome. And so you can't really do that on this. The screen's really small and it doesn't have a desktop operating system like DeX, and it doesn't have like a nice magnetic attachable keyboard. And obviously it's not the best form factor in the world because of these grips. But still, like I said, if I didn't have a tablet, this would be an incredible purchase for that alone, because then I've got a full-fledged tablet and I've got a full-fledged gaming console. I mean, like I said, any kid or something that doesn't own a tablet, this thing would be incredible. Like, cannot recommend it enough for that. If you're like a 13-year-old kid, you could watch YouTube all day on this in your bed and then use it to game on at night. I mean, it's man, the more I think about this thing, the cooler I think it is. But and it's only $299, which I saw these reviewers bashing it like, oh, that's so much money. Well, now it's $349. That's another interesting thing I wanted to talk about. The price on Amazon has actually gone up to $349, which kind of shocked me. I was sure it would stay at $299, even though they claimed that was only the pre-order price. But we'll see. I don't know. I can't get a feel for how well it's selling. It seems to be selling pretty well, but I don't know. I can't. So I think that will kind of, if it's selling really well, then I can drop the price. If it's not selling well, they may drop it to $299. But anyways, as of today, I checked on Amazon, and now that it's out of pre-order, sure enough, it's actually $349 on Amazon's website. Which, like I said, I expected it to go down to to stay at $299, and them to never raise the price like they threatened to. But anyways, so I'm glad I got it in the pre-order mode. But yeah, this thing is cool. Like I said, just making this video has reminded me. It's amazing. Like I said, I still really don't see what use I have for it. I tried to talk a lot about Android gaming to make the point that I'm disappointed in it. There's much less of a selection on Android gaming than I thought. A lot of it only supports touchscreen. There's nothing you can do about it. I guess you can map the controls or whatever, but you can't map controls of a game that's meant to be in that shooting game. Because how are you going to play that? And I've heard everything I've heard is those things that map the touch inputs to controls don't work very well, or at least are not nearly as good as the real control experience. I haven't tried any FPS, Call of Duty, or anything like that. I don't care about that anyway. I heard Call of Duty Mobile only supports first-party controllers, so it doesn't support this thing. It only supports PlayStation and Xbox controllers. Another thing you could do is, because it's a tablet, I'm assuming, I have not done this yet. Actually, I should have before I made this video, because it would have been a cool angle, but it's got Bluetooth, which, by the way, I thought people seem to really be out to get this thing, so I thought I had read somewhere that this doesn't support Bluetooth. How useless. It does support Bluetooth, by the way. So you could just Bluetooth the Xbox controller, prop this thing up, and play that way. I mean, you can do so much with this thing. That's what I do to like play Destiny, because I had a hard time controlling it on this thing. But on Xbox controller, I'm used to that. You can just do that. Because I'm not blaming the controls, because it's the same with like if I try to play something with Razer Key Sheet, I can't control it at all. I don't know what the deal is with. Like I said, I'm old or something. I can't adjust. But yeah. All you do is click this, and you go to handheld mode, switch mode, Neato Beano. Also, I played YouTube on it. That's cool. I could show you that. Yeah, I could go. I think YouTube. Let me do all apps. Let me go to YouTube. But this is YouTube in gaming mode, so I'm not sure if that's somehow different. Let me see. I'm not sure if YouTube in gaming mode is somehow different than YouTube in... Here's an example of YouTube. It actually looks a little washed out on white. Probably because I got the brightness turned up too high or something. But yeah, there's YouTube in... Lakers turned down this trade offer.
The new NBA app has big style.
Man, that's a nice screen. That is such a nice screen. I tried to tell people this. The reason I wanted the G Cloud, one of the main reasons over the Steam Deck, is man, that display is so much better than the Steam Deck's washed out 720p dim, you know.
Well, so we're at the Lakers,
just,
and there's
I mean, look at
situation
that.
with
That looks
shooting,
nice.
and do they pull a trade or not?
There's just an example of YouTube on it. Oh man, this thing is so cool. So cool, so cool, so cool. This thing is worth every penny of $2.99 as a tablet alone. The 720G is plenty enough to run this sucker smooth, which I knew it would be. Let me tell you a little secret about like Android chipset's power. What matters is the single thread performance. I figured out a long time ago. It's like an Apple iPad. It runs incredibly smooth, and it's like a dual core. So you see all this bragging on Android devices about octa-core and everything. Doesn't matter, man. The by far the most important thing is your single core performance, because that's what limits you. It's stuff that runs on one core. Sure, in today's modern day, a single core device would be trash, but all things equal, like if you have two octa-core processors, you want the one with the greater single thread performance by far. Anyway, so this thing, the single core of Geekbench 5 is like 550. Long story short, it's got pretty good single core performance, not compared to anything decent like a Snapdragon 888. To put it in perspective, let's see, the single core Geekbench 5 on this was about 550, and a Snapdragon 888 would be like 1,000, I think. They're up to like 1,350 on the very fastest, newest stuff. But even that, you're only talking like double 550 is like 1,100. And the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 Plus is like 1,300 or 1,350, I think. So you're talking about roughly 2 times, which if you translate that to anything else, if you're like roughly half as powerful as the leading cutting edge, you're doing good. You know, same thing with like if you bought a Core i5 and laptop, and there's, you know, the leading edge is 2 to 3 times more powerful, you're in good shape. Half to a third power of the leading edge is always plenty. Like I said, this runs very smooth. Not to say there's never a hiccup, because there is, but I mean, look at that. It's smooth, plenty of power for like tablet use. So yeah, I do, like I said, I really wish they had put a more powerful chipset in, but honestly, in actually using it, I have not noticed very many, if any, instances where I want more power. I believe that Street Fighter game I played was running a little slow, like it just felt slow. I need to download whatever app tells you your frame rate. I think it's just running in 30 FPS. That's all it was doing, whereas 60 would be ideal. I don't think it was running lower than 30. That would be an honest problem. But I'd have to, like I said, I'm gonna make another video on this. I just wanted to get one out. The other video, because I was gonna mention why I have not made another video. I mean the reason I'm gonna make another video is because I've not done any emulation on this yet, and that is one of the big three things that I wanted to do with it. I wanted to do one, native Android gaming, cloud gaming, and this video sort of at least touched on all those things. 3, I wanted to do emulation. That's like going to be the biggest one for me because I don't see myself using the cloud game. See, like I said, I don't see myself playing Xbox Series X games on my handheld. It just doesn't make sense to me. Especially because this thing basically needs Wi-Fi to work. So, you know what I'm saying? There's no portability there. So if I'm using it, I'm going to be at my house. I mean, to me, like I said, I'm old. I'm not a kid. I'm not throwing things in my backpack and stuff like that. You know? If I'm using it at my house, then I would rather just play my Series X. You know what I'm saying? Even though you could say something like, "Oh, well, you could just play in your bed." Yeah, but the controls are so like hard for me on the handhelds, like I mentioned. I just don't see playing on a small screen. Like I said, I'd literally just get up, walk 10 steps to the living room, play on my couch. You know, I mean, it doesn't make sense to me to play Xbox Cloud Gaming much. Now, it is neat how gorgeous it looks and everything. I'll admit that. And like I said, I don't know what they're doing to make it look so gorgeous on this device when I've been very disappointed in xCloud before. But you saw that display of Chorus. And Gears 5 also looked just as incredible as that, probably. You know, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're doing like, this is the only device that can do 1080p because they got a special deal. Because like I said, I had heard xCloud. I've always known xCloud is only 720p right now because it's in beta, you know. So we'll see, but yeah, I love it. ETA Prime, and I trust him over me, was saying this D-pad is like okay, but not great. I'm not one to judge D-pads. I don't know. It works for me, but I haven't gamed much on it. So we'll see, but yeah, I think this is worth every penny of $2.99. Probably worth every penny of $3.49 given today's inflated prices. You can see I've already dropped the battery. What did it start at 53? So it has dropped the battery significantly, but the screen's been on the whole time, so can't really knock that. And it's on pretty bright. Yeah, that's all I got, I guess. Oh yeah, I was talking about why I'm going to make another video because I have not done any emulation. Because I don't really have my head wrapped around emulation too well still, of how to set it up, so I got to kind of do a deep dive of learning like how to set up the emulators, how to set it up on Android. I've never set up an Android device for emulation really before. I mean, I've done it, but I'll like set up one game. I'll just like put Street Fighter on an emulator and, you know, something stupid like that. I need to get more familiar with RetroArch and all that stuff. So I'm going to throw some emulation on there, and I'm going to have another video for that. Cause I touched on 2 of the 3 pillars of this thing. Native Android gaming. Disappointing because you don't get enough support, and there's not really much to play on it. Like I said, there's Dead Cells. Oh, I didn't finish my talk about that. There's just not much. There's Diablo Immortal. You'll see almost every video does Diablo Immortal 2. Not part 2, Diablo Immortal as well, because there's not much else. They do like Genshin Impact, which I understand this actually doesn't even run very well. PUBG, I don't think has controller support or something like that on this. I don't even know. I didn't try, but Minecraft runs well on it according to ETA Prime's vid. I didn't try that. I don't play any of those games, so I really have no interest. But yes, Android has much less actual cool stuff to play natively than you'd think, at least to my knowledge right now. So that was going to let down. Native Android gaming I let down. Cloud gaming, kind of awesome, but I don't see myself using it. But I wanted to talk about, I wonder if cloud gaming is the future, to be honest, because you know what this has that seemed like it doesn't? Like when I saw Chorus running like as beautifully as it was, I said to myself, like, dang, this may be the future, because when you do it like that, you can have this thin, light device with 12-hour battery life. And you're not getting that if you're running that game locally on x86, much less. The x86 is going to lead to heavy heat, a fan, sucking power like no tomorrow. You know what I mean? That's just x86 for you. You need to be on ARM to have any kind of battery life. So, it's interesting anyway. And at first I didn't like Cloud because even though you may be playing on like Series X and it looks awesome, it always looks kind of blurry and stuff. So it's like you can't really appreciate the graphics as awesome as they are because you're not really getting the graphics. But when I saw Chorus again and even Gears 5, I started to go, okay, you know what? This maybe actually works. So we'll see. I didn't even try GeForce Now. Probably won't. I mean, I'm an xCloud. Should be enough for me. Destiny, I got to do remote play because it's not on Game Pass. You can only use Game Pass games on xCloud, by the way. Does not support at this time anyway, like other games. I think they said they were looking into that a while ago. But what's come of that? What will come of it? Like, I don't know. Like how Destiny on Stadia, you could just play Destiny, which is a free-to-play game. You can just play Destiny. You don't need any. You didn't need any to own it or any cloud service or whatever. Could you do that on xCloud? No, because Destiny is not part of Game Pass anymore, and it only supports Game Pass games. Maybe when Sony bought it out in their marketing deal right now, whatever, they took Destiny off of Game Pass. So the only way for me to play Destiny on this through any Xbox related thing right now is through remote play. But oh, and I did play, and it was like I said, I was disappointed in remote play on this. I don't know why. It was like laggier than, like I said, on other devices. What little I had noticed, it was like remote play had a lot less lag than xCloud. But on this so far, it's like xCloud is less lag than when I tried Destiny the other day on remote play. That was pretty laggy. So I don't know what's going on. Remote play in theory should be less laggy because it's close to you're close to your Xbox. My Xbox is in the next room, you know. So I don't know, but I'll have more thoughts on that if I make another video. Hopefully, some more experience. But yeah, I say, especially if you need a 7-inch tablet, especially if you don't have a tablet, if my video, convinces you, then I say get it. Myself, I'm still vaguely considering returning it, but as of this video kind of convinced me that I'm probably going to keep it. We'll see. I got 30 days to decide, and this is day 2, Got plenty of time I'm going to put some emulators on it. One of the coolest things I like about this device is because it's an Android, I feel like I can make it mine, I feel like that's one of the things I'm most excited about over time, to make it my device, And I'm not sure I can necessarily do that because of this launcher, at least on this launcher. Because I don't think like you can customize. The way ETA Prime talked, I'll have to double check it again, but you can't even like change your wallpaper on this. You just have to use one of their assigned wallpapers. Which, by the way, what does this do? Hold on. I was going to show you some of the different wallpaper settings here. Theme and wallpaper. Yeah, this is the wallpaper selection. You get 4 to choose from. That's it, So in theme, you only get 2 to choose from. I tell you what, it has its rough edges, but honestly, Tencent, I think they probably did this OS. Really, it's a nice OS. Again, the more I talk about this device, golly, this thing is so slick. Themes, it only has 2, yeah. And Fusion and Mist. Mist is a little too white for me. It's awfully like, there's just no texture to the color. This green thing has this nice texture going. But, yeah, there you go. Hour-long vid. Like I said, touched on 2 of the 3 pillars. And I have got to set it up for emulation to hopefully do another vid on that. Not sure when that'll be coming. Hopefully a week or 2, something like that. But yeah, I was talking before, my train of thought got cut off, that one of the things I'm most excited about this thing is to make it mine. Put the emulators on, put everything I want on there, which I've already done a lot. Okay, I think YouTube comes pre-installed, obviously. But I put the NFL app on there, which is one of the main apps I always use. Geekbench did. I put a few games on there. I'm making it mine. It's my tablet. My console. But yeah, I mean, for a kid that's given that they had xCloud support, I mean, I guess it's not good for a kid just for the reasons that emulation, you probably need to be a grown-up nerd, or at least 12 or something. You have to be kind of a nerd to do the emulation stuff because it's complicated to install RetroArch, do all the settings, go in the settings and adjust everything how you want, all that stuff. But I guess if you got a kid and you got Xbox Cloud game, I mean, I'll think a kid around like 12, 13 years old, not like a 6-year-old, obviously. He might love this thing, provided you have Xbox Game Pass and you can play xCloud on it. And because native Android games and emulation, you need to be savvy enough to set it up. So, but like I said, it's amazing. Cool device. For me, I like it a lot better than the Steam Deck. I've not owned a Steam Deck, but just I think that another thing I always said about this device was like, if this was a $299 Chinese handheld and it didn't have any cloud gaming support built in, it didn't have any native Android support, would I want it? I was like, yeah, probably, because this is still like the ultimate 7-inch display. The controls, the build quality, the super bright and nice screen, all that stuff is worth $299 by itself to me. So anyways, that's my look at the G Cloud, and I'm going to have to make another video about the the emulation aspect, because I've not touched on that yet. But hopefully I'll be really impressed. Alright, I want to put like Tetris. Again, you gotta have Tetris and Street Fighter, stuff like that. Once I get those going, those are like comfort food games, just pop them and have a little fun. Anyway, so all right. Another one I just thought of. I'm not gonna try in this video, but Tetris Effect. That's a really cool game on Xbox. Oh, that would be nice on this. In fact, let's go. This is an impromptu thing right now. Let's go. Hold on, I'm going to what? Hold on. Going to Tetris. Wait a minute. Okay, I guess I just have to type. Oh, does it have Tetris Effect? No, it doesn't. Dang, you gotta be kidding me. How does it not have Tetris Effect on Game Pass? That's a bummer. Well, I guess you could set it up on Remote Play the way you have to do it. Hold on. You could maybe do it on Remote Play, which is a whole different app, because now you gotta go to your... Have to go to my Xbox app, and Remote Play, in my experience, is even far more buggy than Xbox Cloud. I'm going to my blah blah. It never seems to work. I'm going to try here. See if Remote Play will work. Like I said, every time I try to do Remote Play on this, it does not seem to work. I went into the Xbox app, which is different from the Game Pass app. That always confuses me, by the way. And another thing that's buggy and stupid about this dang thing is it always somehow turns on my sound bar when I Remote Play. And I cannot get it to stop doing that. Like the other room, it turns on my sound bar. And the only way, it starts playing the sound. So like in my living room is Xbox sounds right now. The only way I can then turn that off is to literally unplug the soundboard. I don't know either. Tetris Effect. As I said, remote play looks noticeably blurrier to me than xCloud, which is the reverse of every other thing I've done this on. How do I not? Okay, I do have Tetris Effect. Yeah. Tetris Effect connected. If you don't know about this game, it's freaking cool. Remote play. Now it's hung up. Photosensitivity warning, Unreal Engine warning. You smoked too much dope warning. Yeah, there's Tetris Effect. This is remote play though. This is not. I mean, you have to scroll through this entire freaking thing. It takes like an hour. That's ridiculous. Tetris Effect Connected would be a great game to play in this. If you don't know this game. See, it's already, you can tell it's blurrier than like the xCloud was. I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, see, it's like kind of washed out a little. Doesn't look quite right. Yeah, weird. I don't know why Xbox Remote Play seems worse than xCloud. Where's my favorite? I had to put this back at beginner, by the way, because I'm bad and old. Like the first, yeah, this level right here is super cool. It makes it pretty small on this. I don't know why it's doing. Controls work fine. It's not quite the same effect as when you play on your big screen. Because the whole point is the audio-visual coolness of it. But yeah, it's working well. Pretty well. Maybe a little lag. I don't think it would really affect you too much though. It's definitely playable. In fact, you really almost can't notice the lag. Well, anyways, made my point on that one. So yeah, there's the Logitech G Cloud. My recommendation is buy it. If they were, I personally think you're getting every penny's worth of $2.99. But if they would ever get this thing down to like $1.99, I promise they would never be able to keep it on shelves. Alright, that's my video, and I'll probably make another one with the emulation aspects in a few days to a couple weeks, whatever.